Got a plain one with cheese, got one with sprinkles, got one with chocolate, got this. As a child, I'd probably get it with chocolate. Actually sounds pretty good. I've never even thought about that combination. You licked your lips hungrily as the vendor handed your pretzel over, ready to take a big bite. It had tiny marshmallows on it. Oh, that sounds amazing, and was dripping with chocolate, just how you liked it. Your moms didn't like you to eat too much sugar. This was a special occasion. What they don't know won't hurt them. What are you talking about special occasion? You're just going shopping. You found an empty table close enough to the beach that the grit of the sand made terrible noises when you dragged the chairs out to sit down. These balloons are going to make it hard to eat. Cove placed his bucket on the table as he stared at his still balled up hand that was wrapped around the string. You opened your mouth to agree before an idea hit you. I know! After carefully placing your pretzel somewhere it wouldn't get sandy, you tugged the balloon dolphin out of Cove's hand and tied it in a little bow around his wrist. Yeah, I was about to suggest that.
Oh.
Cove bounced his arm up and down in place, testing the stability of your knot. After watching his balloon jostle around but remain attached, he smiled satisfied. Can you do it for me? He repeated the ritual. Cove struggled somewhat with the cast restricting his fingers on one hand and a string already tangled around the other. Got it! The two of you spent a moment admiring your handiwork, both hands now free to allow easy munching on your pretzels. You bit into the doughy treat, savoring the taste on your tongue with a smile as you looked out over the ocean. After a time you finished your pretzel, you were done before Cove. It was boring not having anything to do. You pulled on a string of your balloon to bring it down to your level, and you held the dolphin in your hands, manipulating it to make it look like it was jumping through the air. Oh, you're gonna pop it! You're gonna pop it! Oh no! If you turned to face toward the beach, it almost looked like he was swimming in the waves like a real dolphin. A laugh came from your side. When you glanced back at Cove, he had left the remaining parts of his pretzel on the wrapper, and he was gripping his dolphin too. Mine's name is Merryweather. He's the prince of the dolphins. Mine's name is Splash. They star in movies. Mine's name is Cherry. She's actually an alien. Mine's name is Sam. They're just a regular doll. I'd probably name it Splash. Their trainers use fish and treats to help perform tricks. They're the most famous dolphins in the world. You sighed, wishing you could star in a movie with a real-life dolphin. What's yours? I remember as a kid being obsessed with the movie Dolphin Tale. But not even like I watched it, but I remember just watching the trailer. I think it was supposed to release on my birthday or close to it, and I was like, we have to watch it. And then I never ended up watching it, but I was still, like, I kept like begging my parents. Cove considered this question, placing the balloon against the table and resting his free arm across it in contemplation. With a lot of pop, the dolphin exploded into it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh no. For a second, all Cove did was gape and chop like you. Then his cheeks puffed up, squinting his eyes, and you saw tears start to glisten. You made a joke. You've offered to find Alexander. You offered to give Cove your balloon. You didn't say anything, he would be alright. I'd probably offer to give Cove my balloon. Even as a kid, I wasn't that heartless, I think. You could have my balloon instead if you want it. Cove looked over at you, frowning. I don't want yours. Yeah, that sounds like this one, actually. Oh. You felt bad for Cove, but you were secretly glad. You really liked the little dolphin, and you weren't too eager to give it up. Cove spent the rest of the outing sniffling and didn't say much else. The passing of Cove's balloon was the last major event of your adventure. In the end, the two of you headed back late that afternoon. You separated on the beach, and while Cove went straight home with his brand new sand pail in hand, you decided to sit for a while. You watched the waves and the sunset fiddling with your new keychain. Another summer day was drawing to a close. That had been nice for the most part. Hopefully there wouldn't be any tears next time. This one scares me. And it's not even like the fact that I'm scared of growing, but like I'm scared that it's gonna skip stuff in the story, you know? But we should probably just pick it in order, right? Sorry, I was checking my phone, making sure nothing important is being said to me. Grown up. One sweltering summer day, you were in your living room with Cove, listening to the sounds of the birds chattering outside the window, while you lay across the rug on the floor. Is there just like a dust particle on the— There is! I thought that was like in real life. Cove's dad had dropped him off earlier, and your mom had left the two of you, along with Lizzie, to play amongst yourselves. It had been too hot to go outside in the afternoon, at least according to Mommy, so her sister was starting to get impatient waiting for her golf class that evening. The rich kids. The three of you had trouble finding something fun to do. The beach and the playground were off limits, and you felt it was too warm for anything like playing with your fuzzy toy animals. And suddenly, a light came to Lizzie's big brown eyes, and her smile spread wide across her face. Having an idea gave her a new wave of energy. Since we're stuck inside, we should be adults. They don't play outdoors anyways. They're always inside and telling everybody they're too busy to play. This is actually how kids think. I said why, and it'll be fun. Well, what do they do inside that we don't? Besides, use the phone a lot. Excluding a small huff, Lizzie decides to ignore Cove. Do you want to? Cove said it. That doesn't sound fun. I bet we can come up with something else. I don't know. I want to. Yeah, I'd probably just agree with him. Cove said it. That doesn't sound fun. Come on! Neither of you had one single idea all day. You could tell Lizzie wasn't about to give in anytime soon. Fine. With her victory against Cove under her belt, Lizzie turned to you triumphant. I'll try it out, but that sounds boring. Okay, I'll stay. Sorry, I'll have other stuff to do. You kept hesitating. See, I know I said earlier I get peer pressure a lot. But I'm trying to think, like, if it was my sibling, would I just give it? I probably would, actually. I'll try it, but that sounds boring. Yeah, I'll probably... It's not gonna be, I guarantee it. Lizzie seemed more determined than ever, and you could only sigh. Satisfied that neither of you were about to bail on her, Lizzie thought over her options while you watched. After a few seconds, she clapped her hands together and beamed, apparently having settled on something without asking either of you. Okay. I'm gonna be a professional golfer. Z, you and Cove can be a beach volleyball player, a gymnast, or a tennis player. Why? Oh. Why can't we pick anything we want? Because I have a fun idea. That's why. And we have to play sports as adults? Yep. But there's other kinds of sports too. It isn't the same. What do you think, Z? Don't those choices sound super cool? You want to be that, huh? I kind of like those. It really doesn't. Haha, it sounds like a blast. Is there anything else we can be? You nodded. Maybe not. Out of those options, I think she said volleyball, gymnast, tennis. Yeah, those options suck. Isn't there anything else we can be? Lizzie stomped a foot on the ground. Nope, come on, just decide already. Knowing Lizzie wouldn't let this go anytime soon, you sighed. I'm trying to remember if my sister was like this, because I'm like, yes, but also no. I'm not really sure. Cove was not impressed when Lizzie's attitude, though he didn't bother talking more about it for now. You thought over the list of possibilities: beach volleyball, gymnastics, or tennis. Out of all of them, you'd prefer to play... Definitely not tennis or volleyball, so I guess I'd go with gymnastics. If you couldn't spend the afternoon doing cartwheels and handstands in the backyard, then you might as well practice them inside. There wouldn't be as much space as there was outside, but you could still try. Yes, that was clearly the top option. Okay, I'm gonna be a gymnast. How about you, Cove? I picked volleyball. I should have known. Okay, so Z, you're a famous gymnast, and Cove, you're on a popular beach volleyball team, and Lizzie's ponytail bobbled when she proudly stretched her arms wide. We're Olympic athletes who just competed in the Olympics. Cove didn't seem all that impressed with the announcement. He made a face and adjusted the glasses on his nose. That's really specific. That's what makes it fun. Anyway, Lizzie marched back and forth in front of the both of you, getting lost in her own imagination. I won all gold medals, and people were calling me the next Mickey Ray. Who's that? How does she know that first? I guess she's really into golf. That would legit be me, like, as a kid. I remember in school, like, we used to play, like, Pokemon battles with our stuffed animals. And I had a Pikachu, so I was like, well, I win every time. Because, you know, in the anime, Pikachu just used Thunderbolt and they get knocked out. And, like, I feel like my friends would get so annoyed with me because I'd be like, Thunderbolt, okay, you're dead. And I would scream, Pikachu, dodge! And, like, I'd be like, I dodged it, so... Yeah. And this isn't very far off of what kids would do. Same, Cove. Who's that? Lizzie stopped on the spot and turned on him, her brown eyes shining with impatience. It doesn't matter if you know who she is. It's a golf. Oh, that's a girl? Oh. They said Mickey, right? You guys won medals, too. Cove, your team was bronze, and Z, you barely missed out on the gold and got silver. It's more real if we're not all first place. Actually accurate to how I talked as a kid. Because I'm like, I'm the best. But you guys can't be the best either. Silver sucks, I don't want silver. I'm okay with that. Hey, we can do better than silver. Silver's not bad, nice. You stayed silent. Hey, we can do better than silver. You pouted at Lizzie, unhappy with the decision. Z is right.
Sorry.
Lots of people lose at the Olympics. Them's the breaks. Then you're the one who did, not me. Lizzie looked taken aback by Cove's declaration, as though the thought of her losing was completely absurd. No way! It wouldn't make sense. I'm already practicing my golf game. She took a golfing stance to make her point, pretending to swing her club and hit an invisible ball. So what kind of house do you want to live in? Cove hadn't changed his mind about winning, but thinking about where he'd live as an adult appealed to him, apparently because he looked back at Lizzie with the anger fading. I'm going to live on the beach. Lizzie made a face at him, poking out her tongue. It's kind of boring. We already have that. Well, I did not do her voice at all. No, not like the normal houses here with a street on it, like right on the sand by the water. It's like that all the tension was back. You hadn't even had a chance to choose where you would want to live. That's not very fun or smart, Cove. You can't live on a bunch of sand and shells. But I want to, and I will. Cove narrowed his eyes at Lizzie, even though she stood half a head taller than him. You didn't give out a list of things to take from this time, so I'm picking that. Why are we even playing pretend if we can't imagine anything? Well, I'm gonna live in a mansion far away from here and far away from you. One with an indoor pool and a place to practice my award-winning golfing.
It's not fair.
How come you were yelling about mine when your idea is even more impossible? Lizzie's face flushed red, her hands balling to fist at her side. It is not impossible, and it's better than yours. Disagreements always seemed to crop up when the two of them were together, and you always felt like you were stuck in the middle. But when it came to the topic at hand this time, you thought you prefer a mansion, being on the beach was cooler, you wanted to agree with Lizzie. Cove was right, we're tired of deciding between either of them. Out of these options, I don't agree with either of them. I feel like as a kid, I would have preferred a mansion, I guess. But I don't want to agree with my sister. She's being annoying. But I feel like if I pick that option, Cove is right. You wanted to agree with that. Why? I feel like this is kind of neutral. Not picking hers. I'll go with it. You'd prefer a mansion. I'll live in a mansion too. A huge one with at least 20 rooms. Aha! See? Cove was not convinced. You can swim whenever you want if you live on the beach. We can still swim anytime we want. We can still swim anytime we want from where we live now. Being a little closer doesn't mean anything. Says you. The two of them scowled at each other. You're being so unreasonable. You. I don't get what you want. This game doesn't make sense. It does. You have to be realistic. I said that. But you're not. You had no idea what to do to make them stop at this point. It seemed like the two of them would just keep working each other up as long as they could. Nothing you said so far had kept them from being mad. Thankfully, like a greeting card angel, Mom walked into the room. Lizzie rushed to her, hanging onto the hem of her skirt and poking out her tongue at Cove. Lizzie, Z, it's time to get ready to go. Sorry, you have to leave already, Cove. Their mommy said she'll walk you home so you won't be left in the cold. Cove was still glaring at Lizzie, his face flushed with anger. I can go by myself. But without giving Mom a chance to stop him, Cove stood up and stalked out of the room, shoulders drawn tight. Okay. Worried, Mom turned to look down at you and Lizzie. You two were playing nice with our new friend, weren't you? You told the truth, you lied. Kids don't lie. You told the truth. We were playing pretend and things got intense. They were like cats and dogs. Your sister's jaw dropped, looking betrayed as Mom both hands on her hips. Elizabeth! I told you to be kind to him. He is having a hard time right now. Lizzie's mouth closed back up, replaced by a tiny frown. I know, I tried, but he was... No buts. We both know you can show someone a great time when you put your mind to it. We're going to apologize to Cobb and his dad over the phone when he gets back home from work tonight. Lizzie hung her head, dragging a foot across the ground in front of her. Okay, Mom. Good girl. We caught pieces of Lizzie sulking to herself about how it was his fault too, but it was over. Alright, we better move on.
Let's go.
Kids, Nolani, where did you leave the car keys?